Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is a review that I know a number of people have been waiting for. I did an unboxing of this pen and sort of first impressions video. I'm not going to show all the packaging and everything. I want to focus on the pen, so I will link to my original unboxing and everything in the video description in case you missed that. But this is the pen we are talking about. This is the Lamy 2000 Pine fountain pen, which is a special edition, limited edition to 2024. It is limited to a run of 5,058 pieces to celebrate Lamy's 58th birthday, hence the 58 on the end of that. These are all individually numbered, and you can see the number there on the clip. Mine's 2,188 of 5,058, and it's got the standard Lamy branding on the other side there. So today I'm going to talk about the parts and features of the pen. Now, I have done full reviews of the Lamy 2000, a number of videos about the Lamy 2000 in the past, so this isn't going to be like a full detailed review, more about this edition, but I will give some basic sort of information, of course, as well. So let's start at the top of the pen. We get this sort of a shiny plastic top there. Now the pen is made from brushed fiberglass, which is or matte green fiberglass, brushed to look like the original Macrolon version of the pen. It has a shiny chrome clip, and then you get the little line in there, which is where the top unscrews to put the clip mechanism in. The cap swells, and then there's a little tiny little like beveled step down onto the body of the pen, which continues along and tapers down. We get a flat end with a polished chrome little disc in the end there. It is a snap cap pen, and it's a snap cap that I really enjoy the feeling of using. It's very nice, and when you take that cap off, it reveals a nice little ink window here. It's not going to show up terribly well in the video because it's the wrong angle for it. And then these little metal ears on the side of the section, which engage with the capping mechanism in the cap. And then we change to this brushed stainless steel section there. And then we get the hooded or semi-hooded nib there, which is a trademark of the Lamy 2000, of course. This is rhodium plated 14 karat gold, and this edition of the 2000 only came in fine. So that's what I have on here. On the back of the, you see the little feed and then the breather hole for filling and all of that kind of stuff. That clip is, as I said, it's in a polished steel fingerprint magnet, but it looks great, nice engravings as we've seen, and it is the same spring-loaded clip. Now, it is a piston filling pen, so there is an inbuilt piston mechanism that runs down the body of the pen. Now, you can't really see the seam. It's another one of the great things about the Lamy 2000, and I won't activate it seeing as though it's filled with ink, but I have my regular Lamy 2000 here, the Macrolon version, where you can see the mechanism if you unscrew the end there, and it runs a piston up and down the pen, and you fill it from bottled ink. The capacity of the piston filling mechanism of this pen is about 1.35 milliliters. So it's not a huge capacity, but it's certainly more ink than you get in most cartridges and converters, and it does take a while to sort of write through it. So that is the basics of this pine version of the Lamy 2000. You can see it's a beautiful, rich, dark, foresty green, and it's a lovely addition. But as it is a special edition and it was done as a gift set, it comes with a hefty price tag. These retail in Australia, or retail depending on where you can get them from now, for 799 Australian dollars, as opposed to the standard 2000 here costing about 399 at the moment. So it's a considerable price jump. And in US dollars, I looked on one well-known US retailer, and the pine green was retailing for 540 US and the original for 223 US. So like we're talking more than double in the US and around about double in Australia. Is that okay? Well, that is up to you. I'm going to address this slightly later in the video, but for me, I love the Lamy 2000 pen model. I've made that very clear on this channel a number of times. I have 2 stainless steel versions. I have a Macrolon version, and now with this version I have extra fine, fine, medium and broad nibs in it. I adore the pen model. I'm also obsessed with green, particularly at the moment. I sort of go through phases of loving different kinds of colors and things. At the moment, green is right up there for me. And so when this was announced, well, I heard about it back in like February of 2024. I started saving knowing it would be an expensive model. I missed out on the blue, wasn't so interested in the brown, and I was not going to miss out on this green version. So I saved and I bought it as soon as it was available here in Australia. And I am not disappointed. I love the pen. I love the way it writes. I love the finish. I love the color. To me, even with the inflated price tag, I am very happy with my purchase. But your opinion on that will be your opinion on that. So as I said, this came as part of a sort of a gift set, and part of that set was this book. Gert Alfred Müller was the designer of the Lamy 2000. And this book, The Designer Who Got Forgotten, is a book about him and his work. It's in German and in English, which I love because I'm studying German. But it's a really, it's an interesting book that sort of goes into a bunch of the design, as well as, talking about, of course, the Lamy 2000 there. So it's a really nice addition. It's going to be something that I will enjoy reading over time. And it also came with a notebook, and this is a beautiful green, once again, linen bound hardcover notebook from Lamy. You can see on the back there, it is branded with Lamy. It's got a pen loop and ribbons and all that kind of stuff. But I've just done a very quick writing sample here in the back just to give an idea of the quality of the paper. Now, I've reviewed Lamy paper in the past and I found it to be perfectly usable, but I've just written with the Pine 2000 with the fine nib, my Conway Stewart 75 with its sort of gorgeous little flex nib, and Ackerman Oranje Boven, and then the Pilot Custom 823 with that absolutely stunning, unique and wonderful broad nib with Diamine Oxford Blue. On the face, you can see the colors look great. These are 3 pretty sort of generous pens in terms of wetness. So shading is minimal, but you can see like in the flexing writing there, you can see a little bit of that shading coming through from the Ackerman. But all the colors look good. There's no spreading, there's no feathering or anything like that. And then on the reverse, you see nothing has come through. In fact, there's very little show through even. There's a couple of spots where the broad Pilot, which is quite wet with a relatively aggressive ink in the Oxford Blue, has dotted in, but generally speaking, the paper has performed really, really well. So this is also a nice notebook, and it's a nice addition to the set. Do these additions make the price worth it? Well, once again, that is up to you. I see them as bonuses because the price for me is worth it for a pen that I love. Okay, let's do a size comparison now. So I've got the Macrolon Lamy 2000, I've got the stainless steel Lamy 2000, the Pine Lamy 2000, and a Lamy Safari. Now, Lamy's standard pens all kind of come in around that 140 millimeter mark. So they're a similar sort of length in this form. As you would expect, uncapped, all the 2000s come in around the same length, and they're just slightly shorter there than the Lamy Safari. And then when they're posted, there is a slight variation in the length between the steel version and the Macrolon and fiberglass versions. And of course, they are shorter there than the Lamy Safari. But the posting of the Lamy 2000 is one of my favorite features of the pen, how comfortable it is, particularly in the lighter weight Macrolon fiberglass versions. It fits very well and is very well balanced in that posted format. So what are the dimensions of the Lamy 2000? And this is across the board, but specific in this case to the Pine. It's 140 millimeters when it is capped. It's 125 when it is uncapped. So it's a nice enough length in the hand to write with, I think, for most people. And then when it's posted, it comes in around 154. And it's a very comfortable posting, and it posts nice and deeply. So any weight that's in that cap sits comfortably on the hand. I tend to hold it slightly on sort of the edge of that brushed section there, and it's very nice and comfortable, and so the balance is very good. The section is an interesting one. Like, it ranges from about 8 millimeters up to about 11 millimeters, and it does taper down, and some people do have an issue with how slippery that is. Some people also find the ears on the side, those capping ears, to be a problem. Some people find them help with the grip of the pen. Everyone's got an opinion on the Lamy 2000, and no two opinions are exactly the same. Around the cap is about 14 millimeters. So it's not a super girthy pen, the Lamy 2000, but it's definitely quite a comfortable pen. And the advantage, of course, of that width is that it fits in most pen cases and pen sleeves. Let's do the writing sample now. I have my usual Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper here. Just continuing this on the same page of the as the unboxing video writing sample, just so I don't waste paper. So we have here is the Lamy 2000 fine. This is, as I said, the 2024 special edition pine, and it's 14 karat gold nib. It's a beautiful nib. The ink in this is diamine green black. This is my second top up of this ink in this pen. I really enjoy this ink. In general, I really enjoy this ink, but in this pen, it's really, really great. As I said, the capacity is only about 1.35 milliliters, so you can work through that quite quickly. I've been writing with this pen now pretty much non-stop for the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it's to be expected. Let's do the writing. Now, I would say for a fine, this lays down a pretty generous fine line. I would say in a lot of brands, this would be closer to a medium. Especially if it was a Japanese brand, this would definitely be a medium. But it's a lovely, wet, generous line. Reverse writing is possible, but kind of scratchy. Like, the way the 2000 nibs are ground is that they have a bit of a flat face on them. You can't really see it, but they've got, yeah, they've sort of got a slight sort of flatter face, which means that there is a sweet spot, and that writing upside down tends to sort of be just a little bit scratchier. These are also definitely not flex nibs. Please don't push your Lamy 2000s. You can very easily damage the nib, and it's a smaller nib. Actually, what I might do is, just because I've got it here, this is the Macrolon one once again. I'm just going to take out the nib so you can see the kind of nib system that it is. So you can see the feed here, and the nib is actually very small. So a good half of the nib is actually visible, and it's just it's like a smaller version of the Safari nib where it folds around the edge of the feed there. So if you push these nibs too hard, you can do damage. They are not designed as flex nibs. They are not designed to be flexed. So just, yes, please be gentle. Quick writing. So there's no issues here. I had that offline there, writing around tripods and things, so it's not the pen's fault at all. It keeps up, it writes relatively wet. This little hard side here, I should say at the start, that is literally because I have had the pen uncapped while filming, waving it around, all that kind of stuff. I've never had issues with 2000s, so that is just because of the process of these videos. But yes, as you can see, it writes consistently, it writes nice, it writes with a simple sort of rounder line. Some of the finer grinds, particularly in the broader grinds on things like the 2000, tend to write a little bit stubby, but I don't notice that with the fine so much. Maybe ever so slightly, but not enough really, at least for me, to notice it in my handwriting. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty now. Let's talk about some pros and cons. Now, the pros and cons of this pen are going to be the same as they are with any other Lamy 2000. Perhaps except for the stainless steel, where the weight can be an issue for some people. So, cons of this one. Firstly, the thing I'm going to say is the capacity. At only 1.35 0.35 milliliters. A lot of modern piston pens and, you know, different kinds of filling systems have much higher ink capacities, and we've kind of gotten used to that. When this pen came out, 1 1/3 milliliters was actually a pretty decent capacity. So for its time, it's very, very good. Even now, absolutely fine, as it's about, 1.5 roughly converters of ink. The other con with this one is the price, and this is where I'm going to address it. Okay, 799 Australian dollars versus 399 for the standard Macrolon version. Is it worth it to upgrade or to get this instead of the plain one? Well, probably no. There are limiting factors on that. Firstly, the Pine only comes in a fine nib. Yes, after I film this review, I'm going to swap it to the medium that I have on one of my stainless steel pens, simply because I really like the medium nib I have. I really like this fine, but I really, really like that medium. At the moment, I've got an extra fine in my Macrolon, so it'll give me a nice sort of bit of variation there between the two. So yes, limited to one nib size. Also, 5,000 pieces is not super, super limited, especially at that price point, but it will sell out at that price point. It won't be around for long. There will be enough people who want it enough, like me, who are willing to spend some money to get this pen. Is it worth it for the green? Once again, that is going to be up to you. Is it worth it for the gift set? As I said earlier in the review, I kind of treat like the book and the notebook as bonuses. You're not buying the set for the notebook. If you are, why are you spending $800 on a notebook? But you are spending it on a gold nibbed fountain pen that is a relatively limited special edition, only available this year. And Lamy can price it how they want to. It is a much higher price point. Is it worth it to you? That will be up to you. Is it worth the sum of its parts? Probably not. The fact that they can do the black one for half the price means that they could have done this at a cheaper price in terms of, the cost of the parts and the labor and all of that. Yes, doing a limited run of something is going to incur more cost than a longer run. They've been making the black 2000 for decades. The infrastructure's there, the materials there, they know how to do it, all of that. This is a different run. So it is going to cost a little bit more naturally, but are they price gouging? Are they pushing people out of the market? Well, maybe, but it is an exclusive, limited, numbered edition. So for those people who want it, it will be worth it. For those who can't see the worth in it or the value in it, then it's not for them. I find great value in this pen. As I said, I love the color. I love the model of the pen. So for me, knowing it was coming, 8-9 months ahead of time, I was able to be ready for that price point. But yes, it is an expensive pen for what it is. Clear and simple. Okay, but there are lots and lots of pros. Let's start with things like the gift set. It is nice. The book is really great. The packaging is beautiful, and that notebook is really lovely. But they are bonuses. What I love about this pen is the fact that, firstly, the 2000 is a piston filler, and all of the standard pros, as I said, are going to be incorporated with this pen. They're going to be the same. So for me, I love the snap cap. For me, I love how the pen posts. It's a wonderful, wonderful pen. It's reliable, all of that kind of stuff. And the same cons, it has a weird little section on it that some people don't find comfortable, and some people find it gets a bit slippery, all of that kind of stuff. It's got little ears on it. Yep, they are going to be the same cons. The fingerprint magnet of the clip is going to be a con to some people. The weight may be a con to some people. There's going to be everyone's going to have different feelings about this pen. And it's a super divisive pen in a lot of ways. But with this one, I love that green. I think the green looks absolutely spectacular. The texture of it, the way they've brushed it, it looks really, really nice. It's a lovely, rich, deep, dark, foresty pine green, and it's a big favorite of mine. I love the nib. I've loved all my Lamy 2000 nibs. I think they write absolutely beautiful. It's 14 karat gold. It writes smooth, it writes wet, it's super reliable, all of that kind of stuff. So generally speaking, I love this pen. I think it's a successful model, perhaps a little overpriced, and everyone's going to have their feelings on that. But for me, I think it's worth it. for me. So yes, thank you for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there is a way you'd like to support the channel, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, whatever they are. Enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.